Today I'm going to discuss the next part after artificial neural network, which I have discussed in the last few lectures. So, we have learned about artificial neural networks and artificial neurons, their properties, the types, and how to implement and how to develop the mathematical models or computational models, algorithms, and the wide range of applications of artificial neural network. For example, here it is convolutional neural networks, and this is a type of deep learning algorithm that specializes in processing grid-like data, particularly images, while learning hierarchical features through a specialized convolutional and pooling layers. So this convolutional neural network or CNNs excel at image classification, object detection and segmentation, and can also be used for natural language processing and speech recognition by detecting patterns in data without requiring manual feature extraction. And this is the diagram for the working model of convolutional neural network. So now, how it works and all the things, the overall working pattern remains similar to the previously explained ANNs. So these convolutional layers apply filters to the input data, creating feature maps that highlight specific features like edges, textures, or shapes. Then it comes pooling layers like max pooling or average pooling reduces the dimensions of the feature maps, making the network more efficient and robust to small shifts in the input data. Then weight sharing, CNNs use shared weights across different parts of the images, which reduces the number of parameters and improves the network's ability to learn features regardless of their location. Now, feature hierarchy. By stacking convolutional and pooling layers, CNNs learn progressively more complex features starting from simple patterns like lines and curves and moving to more complex objects like faces or entire objects. Now, it was recurrent neural network, which I have explained that RNN or recurrent neural networks. This is like a kind of repetitive learning process from the input information. So this is considered as neural networks that contains cycles, that means repetition, and noted that. So these two authors, McCulloch and Pitt's paper. So these Pitts and McCulloch, they have developed this RNN, which have really higher application or uses in terms of the improving or producing more and more accurate results. So definitely the input layer, after input layer and before output layer, there are layers or middle layers have more number of nodes. So nodes within nodes. That means the learning capability is much higher here, and to improve the accuracy is much higher in recurrent neural network. Now, what is deep learning? So we have explained the details of deep learning also, where you have more number of layers, hidden layers or middle layers, which is just for the purpose to improve and train the model in more professional way. Each node is called as a neuron. Now it comes clustering, which is like most commonly used in all kinds of data analysis, and it has wide range of application. The data could be from business sector, banking sector, health sector, or academia sectors, or populations studies, many more things. So what is clustering? So from the term that is clustering, it comes like to group the objects based on certain criteria. And clustering can be uns- clustering is unsupervised learning, which requires data but no labels. And it detects the pattern. For example, in the figure here, the emails, searching results, customer shopping patterns, reasons, images. And then it is useful when you don't know what you are looking for. So, clustering could be used for data identification, could be used for image grouping. So, basic idea is to group together the similar objects or instances. For example, here you have 2D points, and this pattern can be grouped based on certain criteria. So, what is similarity? Similarity can be based on some parameters which you can decide. And then clustering results are crucially dependent on the measure of similarity or distance between points to be clustered. But when you are talking about image identification or image processing or face detection, then clustering will have some more parameters. And based on those parameters, you will go for masking or clustering and object classification. There are a number of clustering algorithms. For example, partition algorithms, where you can use k-means clustering, mixture of Gaussian, spectral clustering. Then it comes hierarchical algorithms. For example, bottom up, that is agglomerative, top down, divisive. So these are the clustering algorithms. Now, there are some models which exist, and you can write the code for these are the codes in written in Python for the development of clustering models. And here the clustering model is k-means clustering algorithm. Now, how it works in terms of image, if you want to see how your prototype or pseudocode could look like. So this is the raw data, which is the mix of different fruits. Then you need to apply some algorithm, clustering algorithms. Then you need to identify the similar objects grouped together. So here you can see one group, another group, third group here. And this is the output after applying the k-means or some other clustering. Now, how the data could be classified. So this is one example, but in data science, the clustering is not asked to go for such classification where you can o- identify or group the similar objects by your hand with your open eyes. So, what you need here, you have differences in values, differences in parameters, differences in shape, size, and location. So, for example, this is one of the clustering example. This was the original data. Then, after clustering application, it looks like these two are here grouped in one color. Here, three points are grouped in another color, then 4 points are grouped in another color, which represents three different groups of data. Then next part is these are the cluster of data points, or these are the objects of similar sizes or similar shape, but they have been grouped by using k-means clustering. And then after application of k-means clustering, it looks like here three groups are clearly appearing here. Then these clusterings are applied in machine learning frequently. So original data, clustered data. After applying clustering, and then this is from PCA, principal component analysis. There are four groups, that means, sorry, five groups: 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So red color, then black, then pink color, then cyan color, then yellow color. Then here there are some kind of algorithms. For example, naive Bayes clustering, hierarchical clustering, DVA scan clustering, mean shift clustering. So depending on the requirement, you need to change the clustering algorithm. Now, what are the subtypes of clustering algorithms or types of clustering algorithms? For one, K means clustering, K means plus plus, K medoids. Hierarchical clustering, that is two clusterings, agglomerative and divisive. Then DB scan or optics HDB scan. These three clusterings. Then affinity propagation or spectral clustering, Gaussian mixture models, GMMs, then Wirch model. So these clusters are applied on the based on the requirements of data. What kind of data you have? What are the most common clusterings? So this is the kind of clustering which is very common when you are working with biological big data, and these are something when you have images patterns. Then here another image patterns. So what you are looking for and how you are proceeding, it makes your algorithms or analysis more and more qualitative and quantitative. Then these are another examples. Now I'm going for different examples of clustering applications. So these are also the based on some clustering approaches. Then here, when you are dealing with vast number of data, for example, 30,000, 50,000 human genes, or 1 million human population located in different geographical locations in one time, or in one city in different marketing places, the location and communication of the people via phone between different groups of peoples. Then how it could be applied in medical section or in the hospital. So here you can go for some kind of realistic examples. For example, you have patient data sets. Then you go for clustering analysis based on some features depending on which kind of disease the patients are suffering and what are the departments in the hospital where you are going to apply clustering. Then you need to move towards the diagnostics purpose. Then next is cohort, data sources, data processing, algorithm comparison and selection. Then cluster class characterization, classifier, feature importance, and then finally optimal number of clusters. And these are some different examples where clusterings are being applied for different purposes. And these are one of the most beautiful examples of realistic